They called it Seiðr, and they feared the men who practiced it. Not because it was magic, because it worked. The enemy wasn't outside the longhouse. It wasn't the storm, the rival clan, or the sea that swallowed ships whole. It was the voice inside a man's chest that whispered, "Wait, rest, you've done enough." The Vikings had a name for that voice. They didn't romanticize it. They didn't build a philosophy around it. They trained themselves to hear it, and then to silence it on command. That is the technique you were never supposed to know, because the men who mastered it became ungovernable, unmovable, impossible to manipulate. And ungovernable men are dangerous to systems built on your compliance. Ragnar Lothbrok, legendary or not, it doesn't matter, was said to sit alone before every raid, not praying, not planning, just sitting, eyes open, breathing slow. His men thought he was communing with Odin. His enemies thought he was fearless. Neither was right. He was doing something harder. He was watching his own mind panic and refusing to follow it. That is the gap, the space between the fear and the action. Ancient Norse warriors understood that the man who controls that gap controls everything that follows. They called it hugr, the deep mind, the part of you that does not negotiate with comfort. Modern men have lost access to it entirely. You know what the modern enemy looks like. It doesn't carry a blade. It sits in your hand. It hums on your nightstand. It offers you one more scroll, one more click, one more second of frictionless nothing. It doesn't attack you. It exhausts you slowly, like a wound that never bleeds enough to force you to act. It keeps you functional enough to show up, but too drained to ever go beyond that. Too scattered to hold one thought long enough to forge it into something sharp. That is not an accident. A distracted man is an obedient man. A tired mind follows whatever is loudest. The Vikings didn't just fight their enemies. They prepared their minds the way a blacksmith prepares iron through heat, through pressure, through repetition, until the shape holds. Before I go further, if you're still here, that already means something. Most men clicked away 2 minutes ago. They wanted the shortcut. They wanted the trick without the weight that comes with it. You stayed. That means you're either desperate enough or hungry enough, and honestly, both will do. If this kind of thinking belongs in your life, ancient pressure, real tools, the kind of knowledge that doesn't come with a comfort warning, then subscribe. Not for entertainment, because you've decided to sit beside men who are choosing the harder version of themselves. Now, back to the iron. The technique is this. The Vikings practiced deliberate discomfort as a form of mental training. Cold exposure before battle, fasting before feasts, silence before the war cry, not as punishment, as rehearsal. Every time you refuse comfort voluntarily, you prove to your own mind that you are the one in charge. Not the itch, not the craving, not the whispered just this once. You do it before you need to, so that when the moment arrives, the real moment, the one that determines who you actually are, your mind already knows how to hold the line. This is Seiðr stripped of mythology. This is the technique beneath the legend. Train the mind to be still when it wants to scatter. Train it to move when it wants to stall. Not through motivation. Motivation is weather. This is architecture. Build it before the storm, or get swept. At the start, I told you they feared the men who used this. Now you know why. A man who can watch his own fear without flinching, who can feel the pull of comfort and choose discomfort anyway, cannot be sold false hope, cannot be managed by noise, cannot be steered by whatever is loudest in the room. That man becomes the stillest thing in every storm he walks into. One sentence to carry with you. The mind you train in the quiet is the only one you'll have when it's loud. And the question you don't get to ignore, if your mind needed training today, who would be holding the reins?